Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, in this video we will have our discussion on the monthly transit results for this upcoming month of Feb. So friends, I always say this thing that take this video, take this guidance as the planning part, because unless and until I do not know your natal planetary alignments, your running activated dasha, I cannot say or label this video as a prediction video. But obviously, if you know in advance that how planets with their movement are going to be influencing your external environment, you can take right calculative decision. Beyond any doubt friends, like if whatever is happening right now in the world, that is coming as a surprise, as a shock, as a shift to you, so Feb is going to be having an intensity or a league of its own, because we know that majority of the planets are going to be crossing or coming in contact with Rahu and Ketu. This is also going to be the month of the eclipse. So that means the surprise element or the surprise energy is going to be very strong. So let's say, for example, if you are running some vulnerable dasha and the Rahu Ketu axis right now is in some sensitive houses for you, so doing the remedy and especially doing the protection quach part will be very beneficial for you. So okay friends, first we will just make a quick prayer to the Lord Ganesha, and then we will start our discussion. So Om Vakratun Mahakaya Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Kurumadeva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. So let me share my screen. So friends, I'll just give you a quick overview of like the dates when planets are going to be shifting signs, and then we will dive deep into the customized guidance for your rising sign. So sun is going to be starting the month with being in the Capricorn, being very empowered because of its conjunction with the planet Mars as well. And on Feb 13th, sun will move into the Aquarius sign, and it will come in contact with Rahu, which is already transiting over there. Friends, the influence and the combination of the sun and Rahu, see, the thing is, it is not as vulnerable as it could be if it is going to be happening, let's say for example, in the Libra sign, or if it is happening in the Scorpio sign. I mean to say, let's say for example, if you know how to capitalize on the fame, you are a very futuristic, you are very ambitious, very go-getter kind of person, so in those kind of situation it can actually benefit you as well from the material point of view. I will not say from the purity point of view, but from the material perspective, this could be a combination of success. Now when we talk about the planet Mars, so yes friends, Mars is going to be getting very very empowered, and the thing is, it is going to be very ruthless, unconventional, and we say that bravery is one thing and audacity is another thing. So yes, with this entry of Mars in the Aquarius and its conjunction with Rahu over there, so yes, this is a typical combination of where for certain people impulse and quick decision making will actually make you a recipient of all sort of rewards, recognition, or in certain cases this could be a recipe of the disaster as well. When we talk about from the planet Mercury's point of view, so friends, Mercury is going to be transiting in the Capricorn till Feb 2nd, but it will move into the Aquarius, and it is going to be transiting in the Aquarius for the good portion of days, from Feb 3rd till April 10th, and it is going to be turning retrograde as well in this period, like from Feb 26th till March 20. Now friends, we all know this thing. These are the basic principles of Vedic astrology, that Mercury is very impressionable. So if Mercury is retrograde and in the vicinity of Rahu, so yes, your company, your friend circle, your thought process, your tendency to capitalize or be very transactional or be very opportunistic, be slightly selfish, needs to be monitored. When we talk about from the Venus's point of view, so I feel that in this month, the only planet which is giving us hope is the beauty, charm, elegance of the planet Venus. So Venus is going to be in the Capricorn till Feb 5th, And on Feb 6th till March 1st, Venus is going to be in the Aquarius sign. So, especially friends, for certain zodiac signs, like this could be Taurus, this could be Libra, this could be Capricorn, this could be Aquarius. This strengthened state of the Venus is going to be a supportive sign for many lagnas. Like in this whole chaos of month, Venus is the only planet which is bringing us some hope. When we talk about Saturn, so yes, Saturn is going to be now transiting in the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra, being very strengthened. Jupiter is retrograde, so like this is the last month. On March 11th, finally it will come out of its retrograde motion. Jupiter is already in a Atichari motion, so I'm sure that whomsoever people in whose case Jupiter is a beneficial planet for them based on their zodiac sign, they are in the field represented by the Jupiter, so that will actually open many new doors for you. But yes, in the month of Feb, you still have to be slightly patient with the Guru's grace. And yes, friends, the month will start with the full moon energy, and the eclipse is going to be happening on Feb 17th. And these are the important dates of the Gaj Kesari Yoga. So, for any Muhurat, any Panchang, and all, so it becomes very important. Like, you have to initiate anything, and the transiting moon on that day is receiving the blessing and grace from the planet Jupiter. That is always a win-win kind of sign. And yes, Moon and Venus attraction yoga. It's a very good time for like proposing someone, marketing, promoting, branding yourself for some expensive luxury purchases, brand launch, and all. It's a supportive time. So yes, friends, this is what the overall summary of this month is. Like in terms of number of days, this could be the shortest month of the year, but I'm telling you, every single day of this month is going to be power pack with influence of Rahu overpowering all the planets. Lot of the uncertainty, surprise element, shocking news will come. Okay, friends, after this and on this note, let's dive deeper into all the rising signs, starting first with the Aries Lagna. So, friends, for the Aries Lagna, the good news is that, friends, in your case, your ascendant Lord is in a very strengthened state. So, let's say, for example, if right now you are in that situation where you are in line for a promotion, any job employment concern, for example, you have given interview, you're just awaiting to hear back from your employer to get that confirmation letter from the important authorities. So this could be a month which can actually deliver you that, with Sun being in a strengthened state and Mars, your ascendant Lord, being in a strengthened state. See, friends, your ascendant Lord's transit from the 10th and the 11th house, that in itself is giving this indication that this is the time for you to be in a very assertive, progressive, and with acting out with a very commanding kind of approach. This is not a time when you have to like be in the back seat, be defensive. This is the time where you have to be more assertive and confident. Set your priorities right, what you want from the life. Because friends, we cannot overlook this fact that all other planets are shifting signs, moving signs, but Rahu and Ketu are the planets of the destiny shift, and the 11th house transit of the Rahu is considered as very strong. So whatever changes are happening in your life in terms of your gains, your income, your social circle, the only thing which I want to recommend to the Aries Lagna, don't create any self enforced obstruction over there. Just go with the flow, whatever changes are happening, whatever new people who are coming in your circle, because all of that is a part of the divine plan. That is all what I can say. Now, friends, looking into the deeper nitty gritty, yes, we cannot overlook this fact that this is going to be the month of the eclipse. Now see, friends, if you are a Aries lagna, it's fine, but let's say for example you are a Aries lagna and the Aquarius moon as well. See, then you have to be slightly cautious, you have to be slightly careful, because what kind of dashas you are currently going through, that will somehow set that theme, that are you going to be a victim, or are you going to be a person who can actually welcome some big opportunities as well. So a lot is dependent on that. But yes, friends, in the area of your gain and your income, I'm actually seeing lot of development, new development this month. Also, when we talk about the concerns of the marriage and the relationship, that aspect is very strengthened, friends, in your case, because Venus, for the major portion of this month, is going to be in a very dignified state. So your seventh lord being in the 11th house, and because of the influence of Rahu, Jupiter is not only giving its aspect to your seventh house, but it is giving its aspect to the 11th house and the seventh lord as well. So that means in terms of the collaboration, alliance, marriage, matrimonial proposal, proposing someone, I'm not seeing any concern, any vulnerability over there. The only thing is that just don't overthink. Sometimes going with the flow and having that faith in the higher powers is much better approach. That is all what I can say. Also, friends, in your case, see, your 10th and the 11th lord in any case is transiting in the 12th house, right? And sun is going to be afflicted this whole month because of the coming in influence of the Rahu. So for all those people who are in a line of work where there's a lot of the corruption or bribery, illegal activities, if all of that is involved, you have to be very careful. If right now you're already amidst any like lawsuit or any of the litigation and all, then also, friends, you have to be very very careful. This is a typical yoga where for certain people, if again if your actions are questionable, so this is going to be a time when we say people get sued or a defamation charges over you and imprisonment kind of situation. So that possibility is also going to be there. So you have to take all the decisions very carefully. Most importantly, don't do anything which is very illegal, or yeah, that's what Saturn and Sun's affliction is giving us this indication. So, friends, all what I can say as a part of my inputs for this month for you is that this is a month which will be a leap forward for you. So, the way you will enter the month on Feb 1st and the way you will conclude the month, you're not going to be the same person, especially when we talk about in terms of the people you will be interacting with, the channel of the income, and your social outlook, your social progression in that terms. I already mentioned for the marriage and the relationship, this is one of the very best month. For new opportunities, it's a very supportive month. For the students, friends, you have to be careful because Ketu already is transiting in your fifth house, and the fifth lord is also afflicted. So students have to work hard, be very careful. Also the females which are like right now pregnant and all, or planning a childbirth, any fertility procedure and all, so there also, friends, you have to be slightly careful. The fifth house and the fifth lord is under extreme affliction. So yeah, those people have to be careful. But yes, friends, that's all what I can say. Mercury, around the end of the month, when Mercury is going to be turning retrograde on like Feb 26th, so that is going to be the period when you have to be careful, where you do not get entangled into any politics or being misled, misguided, radicalized, and all, or you commented, you posted, you tweeted something, and which entangled you into some controversy and all. So, yeah, Mercury retrograde in the 11th house in the influence of Rahu, that is the only vulnerability, but that will happen around the end of the month. So yes, friends, that's all what I have to say for the Aries Lagna. If I were to give any recommendation, friends, just put everything in the back seat and just make your career as the only sole priority for this month. Okay, friends, let's move forward. Now, when we talk about the Taurus Lagna natives. So, friends, for the Taurus Lagna natives, like the way I mentioned this thing, your ascendant lord in this month is in a very strengthened state. So, that in itself is giving you an edge. But again, friends, at the same time, the concern is that this is also going to be the month of the eclipse. And in your case, the eclipse energy is going to be influencing your fourth house and the 10th house axis. So that in itself is giving us this indication that like there might be some uncertainty in your domestic life. There might be that concerns of anxiety which you have to deal with. Also, friends, for all those people in whose case your work is very controversial, like which is very open to criticism, defamation, uh, yeah, public different opinion, criticism and all. So just be very mindful over there. But again friends, I always say this thing, that those people who are in the top of their field, obviously they haven't grown in their career only because of the accolades or the appreciation. They have also faced the criticism as well. So let's say for example, if the career growth is the only sole objective you have, no matter at what cost it comes. See, this is what the principle of Rahu is. Rahu just wants to get things, no matter what medium or what means have been used for that. So if this is the kind of mindset you have, so this can actually give you some sort of success, some sort of recognition as well. Along with that friends, this month Mars is also going to be coming to your 10th house. So see friends, let's look at each specific area of the life. When we talk about talking about the matters of your marriage and the relationship related concern, so yes, there is going to be like slight concerns of the power struggle, domination, or this could be a case that like your partner will get some sort of like relocation opportunity and all. So those concerns will also come or will also be highlighted this month. So that is the call which you have to take. Again friends, in whichever axis Rahu and Ketu are transiting, they are in a way shifting the axis of the destiny. So I always say this thing, that Rahu and Ketu are most powerful around the time of the eclipse. This is the month which is all labeled and attributed and surrendered to the power of the Rahu and Ketu. Even in the Adhyatma, in the meditation, in the spirituality, in the yoga, we say that around the time of the eclipse, we say the Ida Pingla gets like suppressed and the Sushumna very easily gets activated. That is the only reason many spiritual people recommend that the japa and the chanting you do in the normal hours and compare that to the eclipse hours, the result of that gets manifold. It gets very empowered. So I mean to say, Rahu Ketu axis is very empowered. Ketu, I'm sure, will be trying to uproot you from your roots, from your family. And Rahu is actually opening new doors of ambition and opportunities for you, new career opportunities, unconventional people in your line of work. So all of that is going to be the recurring theme of this month. And yes friends, the way I mentioned, partner, slight possibility for the Taurus lagna. Let's say for example, because that is a common norm with the Taurus and the Libra people, that they end up in relationship with very short temper, go-getter, aggressive kind of partner. So let's say for example, if your partner already has got a lot of the anger issue and he keeps on getting into wrong side of the law or get entangled into law problems and all, so this could be the month that it could lead towards that. So that possibility is going to be there. When we talk about the growth potential, recognition potential, so yes friends, I'm not seeing any vulnerability over there. Venus, your ascendant lord and the sixth lord, is in a best dignity. So that means no matter how much politics is going to be happening at work, you will be safe, or your charm, your active discriminatory thinking will keep you in the safe protective circle. There is a high possibility of that. High possibility of travels this month friends. That's all what I can say. And just try to be in the good side of your bosses. If there is some sort of rebellion happening at work, so much better, rather than being with those outlaws, try to be in the good books with your bosses, with the authority figures, because that will actually be good for your own interest. That is what I'm trying to say. I already mentioned friends, for the relocation opportunity, it's a very good month. For anything to do with the students and the freelance people, the energy of this month is very supportive for that as well. So yes friends, that is all what I have to say for the Taurus lagna. A month filled with that kind of testosterone and adrenaline rush kind of energy for the Taurus lagna, and the peak of that energy will be felt in the matters of their career growth this month, and that has to be a priority for this month. Your partner might be slightly like over the edge or impulsive, or will act slightly dominating, so much better handle that in a very diplomatic way. So yes friends, that is all what I can say for the Taurus lagna natives as a highlight of this month. Now friends, when we talk about the Gemini lagna natives, So friends, for the Gemini Lagna natives, a lot is happening this month. And just because friends, the eclipse energy is going to be influencing the matters of your ninth house. We generally say that whenever the eclipse energy is influencing your ninth house, that means your luck, your fortune is kind of eclipsed. So my recommendation to the Gemini Lagna native is that in this month, don't take any decision just relying on the goodwill, on the hopefulness, like proper calculation, research, hard work is the recipe or is the theme which will give you success in this month. For those who are like trying to like any of the concerns of the visa, immigration, admission in a foreign university, PhD related work and all. So for those people, the month is actually creating a very supportive energy. In the matters of the relationship, friends, Venus is in a very good dignity. Venus is a very good planet for you. Also for many Gemini Lagna natives, the month is creating that energy of like attraction towards like very unusual kind of unconventional kind of people, and there is also that kind of energy where like this new romance might happen at a place of learning, like you joined a course, you joined a new like certification, a new like kind of a course, and over there like meeting someone, getting attracted towards someone, so that possibility is there. Like I would say, like some people also say, because Gemini Lagna natives are very vocal, they are very good when it comes down to conversation and all. So all those like transit kind of love romance, like you were traveling, there was a layover, and over there you just ran into someone and that developed into some good chemistry and all, so all that possibility is going to be there. Along with that, friends, in your case, your third lord is going to be kind of getting eclipsed in your ninth house. So it is also creating some sort of uncertainty around the health or the well-being of the father as well. So be very mindful, be very careful over there. Let's say, for example, if you are in banking, you are in judiciary, any of the lawsuit related concern over there. So like the way, guys, I have been repeatedly saying this thing, this is not a month where you could be nonchalant, careless, and just like in short, carelessness will not give you anything this month. So you have to be very vigilant, you have to be very active and very alert this month. That is what I'm trying to say over here. In terms of the career, friends, I'm not seeing any concern for the career development, for the skill development, learning, travels. The month is very hopeful, very supportive. For the marriage and the relationship point of view, Jupiter is already there in your first house, and on March 11th, it will become direct as well. So, in the matters of the marriage and the relationship as well, there are no concerns. For students who have to write any competitive exam and all, so even for them as well, the month seems to be very supportive. So, friends, for the Gemini Lagna, the good planets are like Mercury, Venus, Saturn. Saturn is in a strengthened state. Rahu is also a good planet for you. Venus is a good planet for you. The only concern is that your ascendant lord is going to turn retrograde around Feb 26th. So, like the way we say that people who become the victim of circumstances, sometimes we say that, okay, this person cannot do anything wrong. He was just unlucky. It happened because you were just short on luck. So those kind of situation might happen after Feb 26th, when your ascendant lord is going to be retrograde in the ninth house in the influence of Rahu. So that is going to be the time, because Rahu loves to put us into conflicting situation, into conflicting thoughts, unnecessary create illusion, confusion and all. So, and obviously, friends, like whenever we are confused, what guide us? The higher power, the deeper consciousness, right? And all of that comes from the ninth house. If the ninth house in itself is eclipsed, even the third house also plays a very important role in the thought process, in the mental rationality, judgment. So, I mean to say, after Feb 26th, I'm seeing more of that vulnerability. But before that, the month has got something good for you. The best part of this month is that right around the like sun will leave your eighth house around the mid of the month, like on January 14th, I'm sorry, on Feb 12th 13th, sun will leave your sun will leave your eighth house, and after that Mars will be there till Feb 20th 22nd. So I mean to say, anything to do with the anything to do with the authority figures and all, friends, that is the one area where I'm seeing slight vulnerability. Your being accident prone, injury prone is also another area. So okay, let me summarize this thing. Sun is going to be transiting in your 8th house till Feb 12th. So that means issues with the authority figure, and Mars being in the 8th house till Feb 22nd. So being injury prone, accident prone, that energy is still going to be there. So for that, reciting Hanuman Chalisa, Bajrang Baan, I've been recommending that from past couple of weeks. Like ever since, or like whenever I talk about anything on the weekly horoscope results or the monthly horoscope, I always give attention to this area where Mars is transiting in the 8th house. So just be very mindful over here, friends, in the matters of the 8th house. Just don't argue with your bosses. And yes, this month, especially when we talk about new romance, travels, unconventional form of learning, teaching, growth opportunities, point of view is very, very supportive. Okay, friends, now let's move to the Cancer Lagna natives. So, friends, for the Cancer Lagna natives, this is actually going to be very, very sensitive month. Now, again, friends, just because when I say uncertain, when I say sensitive, it means for certain people, for certain Lagnas, we say that you might lack in your planning. Or for certain people, like the way, for example, when I explained the results for the Aries, I mentioned that it's your greed which can land you in trouble, right? Because the eclipse energy influencing in your 11th house, it's your own greed or like overconfidence, over ambition, which can land you in trouble. But when we talk about the 8th house related energy over here, like we do not have any say, right? So all what we can do is that how to protect or safeguard ourselves. And again, friends, being a Cancer Lagna, if your moon does not have Pakshbal or you are very anxiety prone, you're also running these kind of dasha, so then you have to be very, very careful. So and I always say, like, when this kind of energy happens in the 8th house because of the influence of the Rahu, so unnecessary being embroiled into controversy, food poisoning, and all, unnecessary allegation, false allegation, these things generally happens. So for this month, friends, if you can vow that you will do one discipline the whole month, this could be visit to a temple, this could be visit to church or mosque, or this could be being very regular in your prayers, in your morning prayers, as to safeguard yourself. That is going to be a good approach in order to deal with the uncertainty which will come with this month. Also, friends, because we say that if 8th house is such empowered state, it is good for people who are connected with research, any unconventional kind of work, like if you are working in the fields of astrology, occult, insurance, and all. So it might be supportive time. But let's say, for example, for those people who are already embroiled into any ancestral dispute, ancestral property dispute, any court cases, any litigation, so then this can actually prove out to be slightly unsettling, so emotionally disturbing. So over there you have to be cautious, you have to be careful. So friends, in your case, all that planetary shift will happen from your 7th house to the 8th house. So that means the way in most of my transit videos I have been recommending for the Cancer Lagna that the house of your business is very strengthened, the prospects of marriage are very accentuated. So now just be very very open and very receptive towards the uncertainty which this month can bring. And the only reason you are listening to this video is that so that you can plan yourself accordingly. Let's say, for example, at your career front, suddenly a news will come that okay, we are going to cut short our team, the head count. Some people might be fired, or your boss is telling about to transferring you or posting you to some place. So you don't have to start panicking, right? You don't have to be anxious. I'm sure those kind of things will happen. So this might be a case that this is just a kind of a surface level news, surface level kind of rumor. So you don't have to get anxious or nervous because of that. Because obviously, friends, your 10th Lord is going to be there in the 8th house around like Feb 22nd. So after that, it will create that kind of theme. So that uncertainty will start happening only in the second half of the month. First half of the month is still very predictable, well calculated, in your control. All that uncertainty of career related fluctuation, health related vulnerability is going to be the theme after the after the Feb 13th, when first sun will move, then slowly gradually planets will start moving. The highlight of this month is that, friends, in your case, your fourth and the 11th lord, which is the planet Venus, it is also transiting in the 8th house. So again, friends, we do not see, when we talk about Venus's involvement with the 8th house, these are not very healthy kind of emotions and the feelings. So let's say, for example, the kind of proposal which will come to you, like let's say, for example, if even someone is quoting you, like someone is asking you out and all, so what is the credibility of that person, what is the intention of that person, knowing that becomes very important. All that lifestyle expenses which you will make in this month, you have to be very careful, like how badly you need it, or is it just like that you're emotionally unsettled and you are directing your emptiness and voidness towards expensive purchases which you actually do not need it. So be very mindful over there. Like any expensive purchases, this could be for vehicle, this could be any house renovation work and all. So the vendor which you are finalizing, the work which you are getting it done, is it actually needed, or you're just emotionally unsettled and you're directing that emptiness somewhere else? So be very mindful in all these areas. So friends, if I were to summarize, when we talk about for the students, so for the students and all, so friends, you have to be careful, especially after Feb 22nd, when your fifth lord and the 10th lord will transit over here. It is going to be creating a lot of the fluctuation. But if you have to write any exam, any academic important decision making, you have to make in the first half, like until Feb 15th, it is going to be, stars are going to be very very supportive for you. When we talk about the marriage and the relationship, so friends, your seventh lord is already transiting in the ninth house, which is a good sign. But with this whole planetary shift, and Jupiter already there in a retrograde in your 12th house, so I cannot give a go ahead when we talk about the prospects of the marriage and the relationship and the courtship and the dating and all. So just be very protective, be very careful, the kind of energy which will come to you, how healthy, how wholesome it is for you. So you have to be very careful. Career will be filled with a lot of the fluctuation, uncertainty. But yes, if you are in any investigative work, occult, insurance work, those people can also get benefited as well. So yes, friends, this is what is going to be the highlight of this month. I again want to highlight for the Cancer Lagna, like organizing any Rudra Abhishek or visit to Lord Ganesha's temple for safeguarding yourself, or Mahamrityunjaya part this whole month. Like this could be one mala of the Mahamrityunjaya part in the morning prayers, will be a right approach in order to deal with the uncertainty of this month, because it is purely impacting your career, your mindset, and your finances. They are somehow are in the line of the fire of Rahu Ketu axis of the uncertainty. But all of that is going to be the highlight of the second half. First half is still in control, in your command. Okay, friends, now let's move forward. Now, when we talk about the Leo Lagna natives, so friends, for the Leo Lagna natives, yes, I'm sure you are right now, your testosterone is very high. You feel very empowered and all. With the sixth house, like transit of the sun and the Mars and whatever right now is happening in the world and all, I can fairly correlate the Leo energy commanding, Leo energy dominating the world. But again, friends, this is going to be the time and this is going to be the month when the Rahu and Ketu axis are going to be strengthened. Rahu is a very unconventional planet, planet of surprise, suddenness, unpredictability, and all of that is going to be happening in the axis of your first house and the seventh house. So all what I can say is that your decision making in the matters of the business needs to be monitored. Your conduct around and with your partner needs to be monitored. The way you act, you are being judged in the public, so your public conduct needs to be monitored. How you want to be perceived, you have to give it a very very serious thought, because the judgment and the impressions which have been formed later on, it becomes very difficult to alter, it becomes very difficult to mold. So be very mindful of what kind of message you are giving to the world with your action. Now, friends, when, like the way I've been saying this thing, that Rahu and Ketu are most empowered around the time of the eclipse, because Even in the adhyatma, in the spirituality, we say this thing that the time of the eclipse has to do with where the ida pingla gets suppressed and the sushumna gets activated. So that means your seventh house is right now overflowing with energy. So how you capitalize on it, how you utilize it will be dependent on your like rationality, the strength of the yogas you have in the chart, and what kind of dashas you're currently running. Friends, not a very good time in this month to get into any new alliances, in any new contract, in any new partnership. So because Venus is right now strengthened, so your 10th lord is going to be strengthened. So that means everyone wants attention, right? And there will be people who will be approaching you with collaboration and the business partnership and collaboration opportunities. But again, how much is it actually good for you in the longer term, in a longer vision, with a longer vision, I mean to say? So that needs to be monitored. So we generally say, because Saturn is already transiting in your 8th house, Ketu is already transiting in your 1st house, so generally any wrong action, wrong decision taken by you might have consequences and long term implication for that. So be very mindful. If any new collaboration opportunity comes to you, do a proper analysis, a proper SWOT analysis, a proper like look at the pros and cons. That will become very important. Along with that, friends, like the way I have been saying this thing, if there have been any concerns of the health, if there have been any concerns of the lawsuit related problem after the second half of the month, a lot of the things will be much better. Let's say, for example, if there have been power struggle, issues with the teammates, with the juniors, with the subordinates, which have been ongoing from the past couple of weeks, all of that will stop bothering you. But that will only happen after the second half of the month. First half of the month is going to be like this only, where there's going to be a lot of that tussle, lot of the tug of war which will be happening within your team, especially if you are in the top management and all. So yes, friends, that is all what I can say. So if I were to summarize everything, so when we talk about the marriage and the relationship, so friends, in your case, Jupiter being in a retrograde state is giving its aspect to your 7th house. Venus is already transiting over here. Venus will move over here on Feb 6th. But just because of too much happening over here, and with Rahu, with Sun, and other planetary combination, all what I can say is that nothing wrong in meeting people, being accessible to people, but don't give your confirmation to any new partnership, any new commitment. Refrain from over there. But yes, a lot of the attention, a lot of the spotlight will come to you. This could be a case because of your unique personality, your unconventionality, or this could be because of how audacious you are, how brave you are. So that will attract a lot of the limelight, a lot of the spotlight to you. Health needs to be monitored, friends. Your ascendant lord is going to be coming in this excess, and generally we say like infection, virus, all of that, or this could be because you are ruled by the sun. So that means the cardiovascular health, your eyes, your bones, so all of that, like the general vitality needs to be well protected this month. So yes, friends, that is all what I can say as a part of like the way I'm seeing the the transiting planets, what kind of energy they are going to be creating. It is actually a very empowering month. But again, when we talk about commitment and all, for that I would still say let this month smoothly pass, because you are like on the top of the world in your head, but there are other contradicting factors. And again, friends, when I say Rahu and Ketu, so there's no one which is as powerful as this nodal axis. And in your case, friends, the concern over here is that, see, what you see on the surface, what you see on the surface are the like planets like Mars, this could be Sun, Venus, Mercury. But what you cannot see, that hidden karma, that is connected with Ketu and Saturn. And these are the planets which are not very in a very supportive placement for you. Like the way we say, it can suddenly dismantle your throne. So again, the way you are thinking right now that I'm invincible, but nothing is more forceful, more powerful than Ketu and Saturn, because they governs our karma and they are the force of the nature. No matter how beautiful and strengthened, powerful dam you have built, but do you think that the tsunamis and the force of the water cannot break it? So that is the power of the Ketu and Saturn. So honor the omens, and yes friends, that's all what I can say. Refrain from any commitment, but yes, lot of the spotlight is coming to you this month. And for anything to do with the higher studies and all, no concern over here, friends. Especially the PhD student, people who are connected with different languages, futuristic field, tech studies and all. So you are engineering student and all. So very supportive time for those students who are of Leo Lagna. And again, friends, if I were to say any of the Japa Suraksha Kwach will be very important this month, like because of the energy of the eclipse. This could be the Sundarkand, Bajrang Ban, Durga Kwach, Hanuman Raksha Stotram. So all of that is very, very supportive. Like I would say that Hanuman Bahuk, we generally recommend when there's a severe severity in the matters of the health. So all these chants and the mantras are very supportive. Now, friends, when we talk about the Virgo Lagna natives, so friends, for the Virgo Lagna natives, as you can see that the major planetary shift is now going to be happening in your sixth house. So most of the planets are coming in contact with Rahu and Ketu, and where Rahu is sitting in your sixth house. So friends, like the way I mentioned this thing that like why we say that any of the japa and the chanting around the time of the eclipse is considered as very powerful, because the general notion and the thought is the ida and pingla gets suppressed and sushumna very easily gets activated around the time of the eclipse. So the number of count in which you get the benefit of doing the japa in the normal hours, in the normal time, the same count gets manifold, it gets multiplied if the same chanting is done around the time of the eclipse. But the gist is that eclipse is the time when Rahu and Ketu are so powerful that they have even overpowered the the luminaries as well, sun and the moon as well. So and yes friends, because it's a solar eclipse, and the solar eclipse energy somehow impacts, influences the sun more, and sun is your 12th lord. Ketu is already transiting over there. So my recommendation is that refrain from any like, if it is not that much important, refrain from any medical procedure in this month if it is avoidable, if you can postpone it. So any medical procedure, any law litigation advice or moves, or any of the major big travel plans and all, so if it can be postponed from this month, much better. Along with that, friends, at your work front, the work front is going to be filled with a lot of the uncertainties, last minute confrontation, forcefulness, and sudden breakdown. So that energy will loom over in the matters of your sixth house around this month. Friends, your ascendant lord, which becomes planet Mercury, Mercury is going to be turning retrograde on Feb 26th. So that is going to be the time when we would say Mercury is a very impressionable planet. Being in the influence of the Rahu, it can actually land you towards like some wrong decision, which can actually incur you debt as well. Like the way we say that some of the people who have any gambling tendency, gambling problem and all, so those people have to be very careful. Again, friends, the way I say, the kind of houses which right now Saturn, Ketu, Jupiter are transiting right now, if you are a person who's very disciplined, who's very sorted, and you're very hardworking, these planets will give you everything. But let's say, for example, if you are a person who has questionable morals, questionable ethics, you always cut the corners. So these are the same planets which can actually give you problem for long term. So I mean to say, you have to be very careful around these matters of the sixth house, which covers your health, which covers the matters of the credit, debt, loan, enemies. In all these areas, you have to be very careful. I always give this reference that when the time, the samay is not favorable, even the Lord Krishna run away from the battleground, because he knew this thing that the time right now is not in favor. Everything is governed by the time. We all are just the medium. We all are just the actors being played out by the time. So I mean to say, in all the matters of the sixth house, you have to be very careful. The health vulnerability and all will start happening after the Feb 26, but that is going to be the almost the end of the month. The highlight of this month, friends, is that those who are like those who have to write any competitive exam, and especially you have to write any military defense exam, or any IT tech engineering exam, so those people can actually perform very good. So for that, it's a very supportive time. When we talk about the matters of the relationship and all, so friends, Venus right now, Venus is a very important planet, and Venus right now is not in a very strengthened state, like the way it is almost exhausted just to negotiate and arbitrate all the problems which you are currently dealing with. Saturn is already there in your seventh house, and the seventh lord is retrograde. So in terms of the marriage and the relationship, I'm seeing some sort of like, it is more filled with responsibilities, like the way sometimes happen where not every time, friends, you have to show your love with some flowers and gift. Sometimes you have to show your love when your partner is not feeling good and you're just around your partner, you're just treating or nursing your partner. So this month is creating that kind of energy. Venus in the sixth house, Saturn in the seventh lord retrograde. So I'm not seeing any kind of flamboyant romantic kind of energy. So I'm so sorry, Virgo friends, for that. So just be as laborious and responsible for your partner. That will actually win your partner's heart, rather than spending money and trying to do things which is not required right now. I already mentioned, friends, for anything to do with the competitive situation scenario, it's a very supportive month. See, I would say that if you have to write any competitive exam, it's fine, but the interviews. So, especially, friends, because when you are dealing and negotiating with the authority figures, so over there, you might end up saying something which you do not mean, or something will be offered to you which you do not need. So be very mindful over here that whatever terms you will be negotiating, if you have to face any final round negotiation round with your boss for any new job, any new responsibility, so the terms and condition and the hidden clause needs to be looked at very carefully. Along with that, friends, when we talk about any land or property related deals and all, any important heavy purchases and all, so I'm not seeing very supportive energy for that. So the whole highlight and energy of this month, friends, somehow governs more of like hard work, caution, care, protecting yourself, defense. Your defense is very important. This could be from the unhealthy bacteria, from the disease, from the enemies, everything. So just work on your defense, be consistent, be regular, and that's all what I can say, friends, for the Virgo Lagna as a highlight for this month. And yes, if you are running a dasha like right now, you are in any of the combination, like for example, Mars is not a good planet for you, right? And you are in a Mars Rahu dasha, Rahu Mars, or this could be Mars Ketu, Ketu Mars. So then doing the remedy, see, if the only one planet which is not good for you is Mars, right? So with Mars, if Ketu or Rahu, any of the combination is forming, so then you have to do the remedies and all. You have to be very, very careful. Those who are in a senior authority leadership role, so you will have all the cards, you will have all the authority which you need to do things, execute things the way you want it to be done. So yes, friends, that's all what I can say as a highlight for this month for the Virgo Lagna natives. Now, friends, when we talk about the Libra Lagna natives, so friends, for the Libra Lagna natives, this is actually going to be the month which can actually make you emotionally, mentally very, very restless. So mental restlessness is going to be at its peak in this month. So again, friends, that's all what I say. See, I don't consider myself as very evolved and enlightened person, but all what I believe in is that whatever is the inner chattering, inner chanting which is going on in our mind is the biggest mantra. It's not like the prayer which you do for 1 hour in the morning that is suffice. The thing and the energy which actually creates a difference is what is going on and living with you like an aura in your mind the whole time. So I would say that whatever nervousness, anxiety is prevailing right now, divert it, take it the form of the chanting of your Ishta Devata. So that will be the right approach of this, of how to deal with this energy. Friends, in your case, with this concentration of the planets in your fifth house, if you are an artist, you are a creative person, this might be a good time. You are a teacher, you are a trainer, you are an innovator, you are a researcher, this is going to be a very good time. You are in any strategy making, advisory kind of role, this is going to be a very good time. Now where the vulnerability is going to be there, so friends, the vulnerability is going to be around the matters of, like for example, overthinking is one demon you have to deal with. Well-being of the children, many Libra Lagna natives will be excessively worried or stressed on the account of the well-being of the children. So over there as well, just don't overthink on the extreme negative outcome. That is what I want to say over here. And yes friends, when we talk about the love relationship, so that energy is going to be very strong, and this is the kind of the month where the attraction will happen in a very sudden lightning kind of way, and there is some sort of past life karma which is going to be attached over there as well, some sort of past life unfinished kind of chemistry and the business. So that kind of energy will loom. So because your Venus is your ascendant lord, Venus is going to be there in the fifth house. Venus is the most dignified planet in this month amidst the uncertainty being brought by all other planets. The only hope we have in this month is because of the planet Venus, which is in a very graceful kind of state. So that is the only reason I said that for advertising, marketing yourself, for people who are connected with the film, entertainment business, attraction, romance, that aspect is well calculated. It's just like that the worries and the uncertainties on the account of the, like especially the children and people who are in advisory roles, they have to be careful. So friends, step by step, see, if I were to say in terms of the romance, a marriage, relationship, a new relationship, and all, so regarding that, it's a very very supportive time. If you are connected with futuristic tech, it is a supportive time for you. When we talk about anything to do with the relocation, so regarding the relocation as well friends, the stars seems to be very supportive this month for the Leo lagna natives, I'm sorry, for the Libra lagna natives. So even for any relocation related concerns as well, I'm not seeing any of the concern. So yes friends, that is all what I can say. If you are in a period in a dasha where like we say that anything to do with especially the planet which is not very good, which is not considered very good for you. So right now if Jupiter is active in the dasha, right, and Jupiter is forming any combination with either of the nodal axis, like you are in the Jupiter Rahu Jupiter, or Jupiter Ketu Jupiter, then I would say that doing the protection kvacham, like this could be Durga Kwach, this could be Narayan Kwach, this could be the Hanuman Bahuk part, will be very very important for you. So yes friends, regarding the marriage and the relationship, lot of the thrust, like lot of that charm, quick movement, quick attraction, that energy is going to be there for the students. So students and those who have to write any competitive exam, so friends, I'm not seeing you any vulnerable, there's no concern over here. The first half of the month is very supportive for any land or property related dealing as well, whether you're working as a professional realtor or any of the like housing, construction related decision you have to take. The first half of the month is very very supportive for that. Uncertainty will start happening only after the second half of the month, like when sun on Feb 13th will move to your fifth house, and then on Feb 22nd when Mars will move to your fifth house, then only the vulnerability will start happening. But before that, in the first half of the month, the stars are very supportive. Friends, your ascendant lord in itself is very dignified in the fifth house. We say that fifth house is the house of the mantra chanting, the mantra siddhi as well, all the artistic and the creative work. So keep yourself busy, friends. Like even if you are an athlete, it's a very supportive time. You are like a sports person, athlete, for any brand deal and all. It's a very supportive month. So yes, friends, that's all what I can say. I always say that Rahu and Ketu are the planets of the destiny, right? And whenever any planet comes in their contract, like in their contact, so Rahu's like that kind of they create that kind of vacuum. They suck in all the energy. See, Ketu push away and Rahu pulls towards it. So I mean to say everything is coming in the face, in the mouth of the Rahu in your fifth house. So that means only if you know the attention and the spotlight you are getting, the thoughts which are coming to you, how to taper it down and constructively use it. So this could be a defining month for you. And again, friends, Rahu is a good planet for the Libra Lagna. I cannot say Rahu is a bad planet. Rahu is a good planet for the Libra. Fifth house is not a very bad placement of Rahu. It's just like that, friends. See, Sun is getting eclipsed in your fifth house. So fifth house again has very strong affinity with the sun as well. So I mean to say a lot is happening over here. So this is a kind of a combination where only if you know how to channelize energy well, you can even make the bosses, your clients, people around you convince to your way of thinking. So it's a very big thing in today's modern day and age where friends, everyone has their extreme opinion. But right now, the Libra Lagna natives are blessed in such a way that you can make or convince people around you the way your mindset is with your line of thinking. So that's a very supportive sign. So yes, friends, the highlight again, if I were to summarize, whether you are a coach, you are a trainer, you are a tutor, you are a strategist, you are an advisor, you are an entertainer, it's a very, very supportive month. Again, the mental health, overthinking is something which you have to be mindful. And even in terms of the love, romance, adventure, lot in store, for the Libra Lagna natives. The slight concern of the Mercury retrograde, that too in the influence of the Rahu, will only happen after almost the end of the month, right, on Feb 26th. So we will have our separate discussion on that. But before that, a very supportive energy. Those who are planning any travel, any relocation, traveling back to their hometown and all, so energies are supportive. Energies are supportive. Again, friends, I have been saying this thing, Rahu and Ketu, it's just like that. You cannot fight with them, just surrender to them. And whatever new like development is happening in your life, around you, in your thought process, in your lifestyle, so just go with the flow. That's what my recommendation and my advice to the Libra Lagna native is. So, okay, friends, now let's move to the Scorpio Lagna natives. So, friends, for the Scorpio Lagna natives, like the month is going to be filled with and power packed with too much of the energy. And somehow, friends, in your case, Rahu Ketu axis right now is in your fourth house and the 10th house. So, that means around the time of the eclipse, it's the Rahu and Ketu only which are in the most strengthened and the potent state. So that means a lot of the development which is happening in your domestic front, in your home turf, and because Sun has got a rulership over your 10th house as well. So at your career front, there is going to be a lot of the change, transition, transfer, relocation. So that kind of energy is also getting generated. But again, friends, all what I can say is that, see, if this change or transition or relocation, this is something which you have been contemplating for long, planning, considering for long, then it's fine. But let's say, for example, only because of the rush hour or something happened, and in that moment of the rush you decided that I will walk out, I will move out. So refrain from that kind of thought process. That's the first thing which I want to say. Those who are working as a professional realtor, this is going to be a very supportive month. Those who are somehow connected with construction or agriculture, farming, politics, and all, a very supportive month for them as well. So you can actually have or get your hands on some lucrative opportunities, very lucrative deals as well. Friends, at your career front, especially, see, for the Scorpio Lagna, Mercury is not a good planet for you. Okay, so if you are in any of the combination, like with Mercury, either Rahu or Ketu is active. For example, you are in the Rahu Mahadasha Mercury Antar, or Mercury Mahadasha Rahu Antar, or Ketu Mahadasha Mercury Antar, or Mercury Mahadasha Ketu Antar. If in any capacity, if Mercury with either of the Rahu or Ketu is right now active in the Dasha, so doing remedy, friends, will become very, very important. There is no other way around. Especially Hanuman Bahuk, Hanuman Sundarkand. So doing that will become very important. So friends, the highlight of this week is that this month is that, and especially friends, those who are in a line of work where there's a lot of the corruption, bribery, investigative work, or corruption, in short, corruption and all is involved. So you have to be very careful. Saturn's placement and the Rahu Ketu's placement and all is indicating that it can actually land you into the wrong side of the law or wrong side of your bosses as well. So be very mindful, be very diplomatic in these kind of situation. Domestic life is going to be filled with lot of the pressure, lot of the uncertainty. So handle things, deal things with ease and grace. Otherwise, it can actually spiral into, it can actually, like, snowball into much more difficulties later on. So much better nip in the bud and handle it the way it erupt right on the surface. Along with that, friends, when we talk about the matters of the relationship and all, so friends, Venus is in a most dignified, graceful state, the seventh lord being in your like fourth house. So when we talk about any important purchases, for the family and all, that can be considered. I'm not seeing any vulnerability over there. Just don't go over budget when it comes down to your spendings. When we talk about new love, new romance, being attracted to someone, so that energy is definitely going to be there. I would still say that, friends, on March 11th, Jupiter is coming out of its retrograde motion. Right now in the transit, Jupiter is heavily afflicted. So it is there in the 8th house. It is retrograde. On March 11th, it is becoming direct again. So wait till then, at least when we talk about tying the knot and proposing someone. But when we talk about dating, going out, meeting someone, attracting, being attracted to someone, so that energy is going to be there and it is supportive. There's nothing wrong in that. And friends, when we talk about for the students, so for the students, friends, see, the domestic life is going to be very troublesome. So only if you can manage whatever is happening in your home, whatever is happening in your family life, I'm sure that you can perform well. I'm not seeing any concern for that. When we talk about the overall overall projection for this month, so friends, the growth potential in your case is going to be very strong, especially all the past, we say the collaboration and the alliances are breaking down for the new development to happen. This month is again, the way I mentioned, Rahu Ketu axis is very strengthened, so energy of relocation is also going to be there. Change in the job, transfer, being transferred to a new role, so that energy is also going to be like that. It's just like that your interpersonal relationship with people in your family is going to be slightly on the radar, on the edge. So be very polite, be very diplomatic while you deal with the family members. Otherwise, if only you can handle that, manage that, this concentration of the planets in your fourth house can actually pave path towards some new development, new opportunities as well. So yes, friends, that is all what is happening. It's like a kind of a pressure cooker which is getting formed. So much of the pressure is getting formed in your fourth house. So how you handle it, how you channelize it, a lot is dependent on your natal planetary dasha and the yogas. But all what I can say is that manage it in a very efficient way and doing the remedies, especially the Hanuman Bahuk, will be very much recommended for the Scorpio Lagna natives. Now, friends, when we talk about the Sagittarius Lagna natives, so friends, for the Sagittarius Lagna natives, all that turmoil which is happening right now, it is actually putting you in a position of advantage. So for the Sagittarius Lagna, out of majority of the rising signs, if I were to say, for the Sagittarius Lagna, this can actually pave path towards some new development, new opportunities for you as well. Even in the matters of the love, relationship, your overall public relation, and all. So the month is very supportive for that. See, friends, beyond any doubt, the energy of the solar eclipse is going to be influencing the matters of your third house. Sun happened to be your ninth lord, and all what it is indicating is that don't rely too much on the luck in this month. Whatever important decision you have to take, do the proper background check, do your own proper research. That will be very much important. Well-being of the father needs to be given utmost attention. But apart from that, only if you can be very well calculated in all these areas, this month has that energy of some new development, new opportunity, or those tasks which has been long impending, moving very slow, can take a rapid growth, can take a rapid progress in this month. That energy is going to be there. Friends, we have already covered the relationship. Jupiter is already being the ascendant lord is in the seventh house. It is retrograde. On March 11th, it will become direct, so which will again move things in your favor in the matters of the seventh house for the business, your relationship, dynamics with your partner, with your spouse. It's very supportive over there. When we talk about the domestic life, friends, so in the domestic life, for any land, property, real estate investments, it's a supportive time. I'm not seeing any concern over here. Like, you already got married, you have your finances in control, and then now you want to invest in your house, mortgage and all of that, so you can consider that. Saturn generally gives us the long term asset whenever it transits from the fourth house and the second house. See, that is a different case. It can actually bring some burden of responsibilities, pressure of responsibilities, but it end up giving us access to long term asset and all. So it is very supportive regarding that, Saturn's placement over here. So friends, when we talk about the marriage, I'm not seeing any concern. Any investments in your assets, there's nothing wrong in that. New development, new opportunity. See, life is going to be moving very fast. Life will move very fast this month for sure for the Sagittarius lagna. The only concern is that, friends, I have already mentioned, especially with the terms and relationship with your father, with the gurus, with the teachers. Just don't argue with them. Don't do anything which is going to be completely in contradiction with your values. Like, don't compromise on your ethics, on your values, on your morals. That is what I'm trying to say in short. So yes, friends, if I were to say sun is actually going to be transiting, being your ninth lord, it is going to be transiting in the third house. Mars will move after like Feb 23rd. Mars in the third house, Rahu in the third house, they all are considered as very strong over here. So in most of the way, the only concern is that, friends, Venus is not a good planet for you. Mercury, I will not say as a very good planet for you, but they are again in a very strengthened position. So that means this is a kind of a month where you can even capitalize or take advantage from your competitors as well. Make them work or behave as per your terms, as per your set terms. So that is the kind of energy which is getting generated. So yes, friends, only thing which can create concern over here is that if you're running a dasha, like where I would say that like Venus Ketu or Mercury Rahu, they are active right now. So then this could be emotionally unsettling. But this is not a month where you have to be in a back foot. This is the month when you have to be assertive, go-getter, and in complete control and command of things, because a lot can be extracted out of this month. So yes, friends, that's all what I can say for the Sagittarius Lagna natives. Now, friends, when we talk about the Capricorn Lagna natives, so friends, for the Capricorn Lagna natives, a lot is happening this month. First of all, friends, this kind of empowerment which you were experiencing because of the placement of Sun and Mars in your first house, now they will shift signs to your second house. That means there's going to be a lot of thrust, lot of power which is coming in the matters of your finances. Friends, I always say this thing, that the transit of the Rahu and Ketu, the placement of the Rahu and Ketu is the placement of the divinity, of the luck, of the fate, of the destiny. So I mean to say, and this month, because of the eclipse energy, they are in their most powerful state. So I'm sure that this month will grant those opportunity to the Capricorn Lagna natives, where some unconventional financial opportunities will come to them, a chance to collaborate, meet, or deal with new ventures. So that energy is going to be there this month. When we talk about the matters of the relationship and all, friends, so Venus, which happened to be your like your Karak planet, it is in a most graceful, dignified state this month, with Venus's state in your second house. Again, that is also adding more finances, more like channel of income. Also, when we talk about the energy of the relationship, it is slightly unconventional, unusual, that kind of obsession, kind of possessiveness which is coming into the picture. But again, it is healthy, it is supportive, it is it is promising for you. It is not something which is actually harmful for you. So that is what I'm trying to say. So whether you are working in the fields of, like, you are a designer, you have your own boutique, you deal with the cosmetics and all, so it's a very supportive time for all those people. So yes, friends, that is all what I'm seeing as a highlight, as a theme. So when we talk about the matters of the relationship, I'm not seeing any concern. For the students, the energy is very supportive. Even for the students, any of the concerns, especially for people who are working as a professional realtor, like you have already listed some properties, or this could be a case that, see, there's a high possibility this month you can actually make some big, like, commission, big profit, and make some important deals as well. So even for the professional realtors, this is a very, very supportive month. Like the fourth and the 11th lord, and its conjunction with the Rahu in the second house, can actually prove out to be very supportive for that as well. And friends, those who are connected with authority, politics, social work, NGOs, charity, mining, and all, so it's a very supportive month. So friends, I'm not seeing any concern. The slight concern is that because the energy of the eclipse, which is going to be happening in your second house. So yes, be respectful to the authority figures, take the blessing from your father, from your parents. That will become very important. And yes, friends, if you are a kind of person, because Rahu generally recognize and reward people who are risk taker. So if your running dashas are supportive, and in this like this ground of the transiting planets, even if you will take some chance, experiment with something, or deal with a new channel, new people, there's a high possibility. I would say there's a high possibility you will end up like, skyrocketing your income, skyrocketing your finances. So yes, friends, that is all what I can say for the Capricorn Lagna. This is not a month where you have to be in your comfort zone. This is not a month where you have to manage your finances the way you have been conducting. Again, friends, universe respond to our inner chattering, our inner monologue, right? So deep inside of you, you have to keep on feeding yourself. I deserve more. I can become something more. I deserve more. So if you are chanting that, and any of the Beej mantra chanting of the Rahu or of the Venus, like we say Om Dram Drim Drom Saha Shukraya Namaha, or the Beej mantra of the Rahu, Om Bhram Bhrim Bhrom Saha Rahave Namaha, and all can actually prove out to be very supportive for you. So again, friends, I don't have anything to say, especially like the way I have been advising to many other Lagnas. For the Capricorn, I have to say that it's a very supportive ground for you to take the chance, call the shots. And if everything works in your favor, if the divine and the gods are kind to you, your chart is supportive, your dashas are favorable, this could be a landmark month for you. Some sudden uh, unconventional kind of financial gains can happen, high possibility of that. So in most of the cases, friends, whether we talk about the relationship, whether we talk about for the students, land, real estate, career advancement, most of the things are well taken care of. Jupiter individually is not a very good planet for you, so I will not be worried much about that. For the Capricorn, my main attention is for the Saturn, for the Venus, for the Rahu, for the Mercury, and they are in a good state. So not to worry about anything. And we say that, see, around the time of the eclipse, it's the Ida Pingla which gets suppressed and the Sushumna gets activated. Rahu and Ketu takes control and dominate over the luminaries. That means, and they are in a good state. They are a good planet for you and they are in good houses. So just do the inner monologue I've been saying. I deserve more. I can get more. I can manifest more. That is very important for you. Now, friends, when we talk about the Aquarius Lagna, so friends, for the Aquarius Lagna, this is going to be a landmark month. So, which can completely change you, because friends, Rahu and Ketu are in the first house and the seventh house for you. So that means the all the astral entities and the higher power and energies are influencing you. They are hard bent on changing you. So expect surprise development, unpredictability, sudden news, and complete transformation. And again, friends, see, many astrologers and scholars would agree to this fact that some people say that Rahu co-rules Aquarius. Aquarius is the Mool Trikona sign of the Rahu. Rahu is very empowered over here. So all of that is true. In short, see, there is not a clear definition which is written for Rahu's rulership or the Mool Trikona sign, but we all agree that Rahu in the Aquarius is strengthened. And whenever Rahu is transiting from the first house, this is a time of the life transformation. Again, friends, I will not say the same thing if you are Aquarius moon and you are watching this video, right? Because for the Aquarius moon, then this is going to be the time of illusion, depression, uncertainty, confusion. That is a different case. But if you are Aquarius lagna, so then this is going to be the time for life changing transformation which is going to be happening for you. And again, friends, because if you will even pay attention, like sun is going to be shifting signs, it is going to be transiting on around Feb 13th, when it will enter in your first house. So yeah, that is going to be the time. And again, see, friends, whatever is happening right now, it is going to be much better if Mars and Sun are going to be leaving your 12th house, enter your first house. It is much better than that, rather than Sun and Mars being there in the being cornered in the 12th house. So that means, friends, lot of the impetus, lot of the thrust which is coming to you. Okay, let me divide this month in two section for you, good and bad. Okay, because it's Rahu and Ketu, so it always has to be extreme. I will not sugarcoat it. I will not make it mediocre. So when we talk about the good aspect of this month for you, so the good aspect is life transformation, new opportunity, fame potential, recognition potential, and being very empowered, like being supported and favored by the stars and the omens, regarding that, all of that is the good aspect of this month. Venus is your yokarak planet. Venus is in a most dignified state. So the charm you have in your persona, the diplomatic skills of yours, the scientific and the futuristic vision you have, that humanitarian approach you have, mindset you have, that will actually support you to win over many people, many projects, and gain lot of attention. It is very supportive for that because of the contribution coming in from the Venus, your Bhagyasthana Lord, your Yokarak planet. So all of that is supportive kind of energy. Now, when I talk about the vulnerable aspect, so the vulnerable aspect, first of all, is health, and that too around the end of the month when Mars is going to be coming over here. So the thing is, friends, first Sun will come, the eclipse energy will happen, and immediate after that, in few days, then the Mars will also come. So that means the health is getting is on the radar, on the line. So, and we say that because of the Mars and the Rahu Ketu axis, unnecessary conflicts, escalation, like your success and your uniqueness, other people are not able to handle it. Other people are feeling sidelined or threatened. So that can actually create kind of a resistance, or kind of, that kind of toxicity in the relationship. So yeah, so that is the good and bad, friends, if I were to say. But again, friends, the 10th lord is coming to your first house, and with its combination with the Rahu, I have seen in the charts of many international diplomat. See, whenever we say that, and whenever we see this conclave happening in Davos, it is happening in the in Switzerland, in the United Nations, in any of those places. So most of the people who are participant, who are sitting there, they all are supported by Rahu and the planets like Mars and the Sun. So that is the only reason I always say that Rahu and Ketu are not always bad. People who are in United Nation, international ambassador, and globally relevant people, they all are like Rahu Mars, Rahu Sun. So all these people are like that. So I mean to say, this is actually going to be a good month, especially for your career advancement and new doors and the new opportunities, something which you have not even anticipated. That kind of development can happen in this month. But again, friends, all of that will happen, but at the cost of uncertainty, overthinking, surprise energy, resistance. So that is how it is going to be for this month. For the students, friends, the month is very supportive. The only vulnerability will happen when the Mercury, your fifth lord, will get retrograde on Feb 26th. So for the students, the only vulnerability will happen after Feb 26th, when your fifth lord will get retrograde and in the influence of the Rahu. But before that, it is supportive time. If you have to write any competitive exam, you are a trader, you deal in the stock market and all. So until or before Feb 26th, the energies are very supportive. For any land, property related engagement dealings, or buying a new vehicle, decorating your house, investing money in your cosmetic surgery, in any home decoration, all of that can be considered. Like fourth lord being conjunct with Rahu in the first house, any cosmetic procedure, any house decoration, expensive purchases are very much supportive. You don't have to worry about that. So yes, friends, that is all what I can say. Good career development opportunities, self transformation kind of opportunities are going to be there. This is something which Rahu and Venus are indicating, and this excess of like where Mars is coming in, Sun is joining in, all of that is indicating. So Rahu is dominating this month for you. So all what you can do is that don't create any resistance, go with the flow, do the chanting of the Beej mantra of the Venus, your Bhagya Lord, and of the Rahu. And I can assure you, Rahu, starts working where your imagination and your thoughts end. That is where the domain of the Rahu starts. So just be welcoming, be receptive. And if you are in certain like dashas, which is making you accident prone, injury prone, theft, fraud, depression prone, then doing the Beej mantra chanting will be important. This could be Hanuman Bahuk is very important for the protection. Hanuman Bahuk, especially the health injury related concern. Hanuman Bahuk, Bajrang Baan can be recited. Now, friends, and lastly, when we talk about the Pisces Lagna natives, so friends, for the Pisces Lagna natives, as you can see, this thing that in your case, this whole energy is going to be influencing. Like Rahu Ketu axis is the highlight of this month, and they are already there in your 12th house. So friends, especially for the Pisces lagna natives, those who are in a foreign land, and let's say for example you are a part of any crusade, any activism and all, and especially because I live in Vancouver, right? A lot of the times I see many Iranian people protesting over here. Sometimes the people from the Palestine supporting over here, protesting over here. So I mean to say, see again. So a lot is dependent on your own chart, the running dasha and all of that. Obviously, even in the US, we keep on seeing sometimes the protesters, something happened, and the police crackdown happened, or so just be very mindful, because the way energy is happening right now in your 12th house with the Rahu, with the Mercury, with the Venus, and the eclipse energy happening over here. So you have to be very careful, especially if you you are an immigrant in a foreign land, there is any ongoing investigation, you are a part of that, you have to be very careful. Or the natural forces, like you go for hiking and all, and you are into adventure sports, you go to the rough terrain and all, so be very mindful, be very careful in these kind of planetary alignments. Along with that friends, when we talk about see step by step, so in your case, Venus is a very Venus is not a very good planet for you. Venus is going to be transiting in your 12th house. So be very mindful if someone comes to you, especially a good friend and something, and ask for money, ask for any help. I can assure you, you will not see that money back again. So in terms of the expenses and all, so yes, the month is going to be filled with lot of the expenses. And friends, that is the only reason why we say that doing the donation is very important, because if the money was meant to go out of your pocket, planets will come up with a way of taking it out. So much better do it in a voluntary way. At least you earned some good merit. So donation, this could be in the name of your ancestor, this could be just helping the needy people, will actually be in synchronicity with the theme of the planets for this month. So charity donation will be very important. Travels will be filled with, there is going to be energy and element of comfort, but again unusuality, last minute cancellation, that energy is going to be there. So if you are undertaking any travel in this month, you have to be very careful. It is going to be filled with last minute cancellation, being stranded, that energy is going to be there. In terms of your career friends, I would say that regarding the career advancement, I'm not seeing any concern. Your 10th lord is in a strengthened state, and Saturn in your ascendant house, I mean to say Saturn in your first house, is paving path towards that stability. So Saturn has put you stable. Jupiter in the fourth house, giving its aspect to your 10th house, is actually monitoring you and guarding you over there as well. So not much to worry about that. So yes friends, step by step, if I were to say in terms of the relationship and all, so energy is not very supportive in terms of the relationship, especially for giving any commitment. It's good for enjoyment, travels, experiencing life, going on dates, it's fine, but not for the final commitment, because your decision making might be clouded by something which is artificial, which is fake, which is not very real. So this is what the Venus Mercury in the 12th house in the influence of Rahu tells about that. And along with that, for the students friends, you have to work hard, concentrate more in your studies. I'm seeing a lot of the distraction which this month will create. This month has that whole energy of the distraction for you. So and yes friends, the good part is that for the adhyatma, for the mantra chanting, for donation, charities and all, yoga, meditation and all, the month seems to be very supportive for that. For any land property related dealings and all friends, the time might be good till Feb 22nd, but afterwards, once Mars will enter to your 11th, like 12th house, and get conjunct with the Rahu and all the planets, it is not going to be that much supportive, because Mars is the significator of the land. Jupiter might be there in your 4th house, but Mars in itself is the significator of the land. And also friends, in your case, Sun happened to be your 6th house lord, right? This whole axis of the Rahu and Ketu is happening. See, eclipse happens every year. Now this solar eclipse is more important because Ketu is there in the original sign being ruled by the sun. It's in the Leo. So that means in the 6th house related matters, like with the authority, with your team, if you're holding up any authority, any command and all, so how you deal with your juniors, with your subordinates, all of that will be very important. Sometimes what happens is that you are doing your job in a very efficient way, but just because that the mistake happened under your watch, mistake happened under your command, by some junior, by some subordinate, so now you are the one who will be held accountable. So that is the reason you have to have that like a proper vigilance and alertness regarding what is happening in your team. So all of that which you are responsible for, you have to do that very diligently. That's all what I'm trying to say. But yes friends, for the relationship commitment and all, not a very supportive energy. Good energy for the meditation, adhyatma, charity, donation. Travels will be filled with uncertainty, cancellation. Be very mindful over there. Land property related dealings can be considered in the first half of the month, not in the second half when Mars will move over there. So, yes, friends, that is all what the energy this month is for all the Lagnas. So, yes, friends, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. Once again, thanks a lot for watching this video and thank you.